Here's a little video about my push mower that I've converted to 12 volt, 110 volt generator. Use it for a jump starter, whichever. But there's a 63 amp alternator off of a Chevy, because Chevy's got the built-in voltage regulators, and running it off of self-propelled. I got this thing in a little trailer to make it easier to work on when I do stuff. But I got the governor works great. There's nothing wrong with the governor, but on this mower it holds it at 2,500 RPMs, which I've found that about 3,200 is optimal for alternators for the voltage and amperage. If I need to change a belt or a little turnbuckle, loosen the belt up, or loosen the alternator up for the belt. The throttle lock here, that just don't let the governor return back to default 2,200 RPMs. So I got that set up to where it's about 3,200 on the alternator pulley. I got a no contact RPM right here. That's what I've used to determine my RPMs with. It's got reflector tape that you put on whatever and push the button, push the test button, and it tells you what the RPMs are. I am eventually going to convert this to bi-fuel, run it off of propane. Seen somebody use one of these little torch heads. I'm not going to cut up my torch head. I'll figure something out. But I got, I'm going to explain quite a bit because it's, like all mowers, kind of loud when they run. I got the idiot light, the wire for the idiot light, because you got your charge, your 12 volt, your charge, and the wire that goes to your idiot light. Well, I've got it wired up to a LED that when the motor's cold, it runs low RPMs, and so I always assume that it's not charging. So I hooked this LED up so that it'll turn red when the alternator is putting out a charge. Now I've got over here, I got a voltmeter. Kind of hard to see because the light from the camera, kind of hard to read. Where the hell's the light at? Right there. So you can see it's 12.5 volts right now. That is actually hooked directly to the alternator. I got a bunch of wires right in here. That when it's running, it's showing what the output voltage is on the alternator. Eventually, I will have one on the battery so I can read the battery voltage, and there's a difference. And lawnmowers, they got the safety bar. Yeah, I'm not big on safety, but I took the safety bar off. No safety bar. And what I got is I got a momentary switch. When you go to Walmart, well, that's not good. So looks like I'm gonna have to get another one of those. But when you go to Walmart, they got them little testers you can test the lights with, the LEDs. I'm gonna have to pull that out of there before I start this. But that's what that is. It's a momentary switch. I got it hooked up to the kill wire right here. You can see that right there's a kill wire. It goes down into the coil, and you just push it, and it's just like letting off the bar. I did take the blade off. There's no blade on it, so it's safe to run virtually anywhere, with proper ventilation. All this runs through some loom back here to, I guess I can take those off. I got a trickle charger I put on this for whatever. Through some loom, you got your hot and your ground. Your hot and your ground. And wires, ground, hot going up to my little 410 watt inverter that power household LED lights, and I have a little CFL that it powers. And also, I've recently installed some flush mount RV lights. They're 12 volt. So if I'm ever using my inverter for something else, it's all on a power strip. I can just kick everything on. There's the on the power strip. So if I'm ever using the power strip or using my little inverter, which eventually, sorry about the squeak in my trailer. Anyway, if I'm ever using the inverter for something, because I use it for my drill quite a bit, drilling holes and stuff, it's a project. I can just kick the 12 volt lights on. I'm eventually going to have more lights. Some back here. That way, if I ever got this out of the trailer and I'm out, got good area lighting in front and in back. I got a kilowatt. It says no heavy load. That way I don't overload my inverter, even though they got protection. That's a reminder. But anyway, you can see once it all powers up, 125 volts. Kick the lights on, and amperage, your wattage. The two LED lights and that CFL warming up. It's 32, and I can unplug the CFL, and the two LEDs are running 22 watts. Now, of course, you can unscrew them, turn the individual off, but those are on this cord. Eventually, I'm gonna put them on a light switch. It's a project. Like I said, I'm eventually gonna tap in somewhere in the breather box, probably real close to the carburetor, because that's what everybody seems to be doing, and run it off of propane. Make sure I got enough gas. I had it running earlier, so a little bit of gas in there. Turn that off, and let's see, push the button. Now, since I had it running already, the charge indicator light will probably automatically come on. If not, I just pull on this. It'll increase the RPMs enough to create a field inside of the alternator and begin it charging. So here it goes. I'll make a liar out of me. You can hear the motor drags down when I kick that on. And got a bad connection on that somewhere. I haven't been able to figure out where. Everything runs. You can tell it, it's running off the motor. You can hear the motor drag down. Also I got lights in the barn. I can run them off of this also. Since my little red thing fell off, but hopefully you understood everything I said when that was running. But I can run my drill. This is, like I said, quite a bit of stuff. But I left the front wheels on it just because it makes it more mobile. I'll go ahead and pull it out of the trailer here. Oh, another thing, it's got USB charging. So if my battery gets low on my phone or my tablet or whatever when I'm out here listening to Spotify, Pandora, music, jump cables, I keep them handy because got 12-volt batteries. Jump start a vehicle, or my poor motorcycle that's under a tarp for the winter. If I can get this out of here without dumping it. Let's set you down for a second. There it is. In most of its glory. Kick the inverter off. And flip it up so you can see underneath what I did. There's the belt. So here's that little reflector for my RPM, my no contact RPM. It's a little reflector you stick on there. There's the belt line. It's kind of crooked, but it hasn't come off yet. I took the belt off. I had to take the gearbox off so I could get to the belt. Took the drive gears out. Had to put that block in there because I didn't have I wanted to keep the original bolt in case I ever wanted to mow with it again. It's still totally usable for mowing, except I have to push it myself. That's that. Eventually, once this proves itself, actually, I've only got these lights. I think they were $8 or something. I don't know. I bought them, never used them. I got a camper. I never used them in the camper. I think they were $8 or something. But I've had them so long, I'm not even going to consider them a price for this. I bought the alternator used, so I got $20 in that. The mower I've had for years, so I'm not going to consider that. The battery I've had for years. The light fixtures, I've had them for years. I got $7 in the light bulbs. I've had everything on here I've had for years almost. Got $40 in the little inverter and $20 in the alternator. I got $60 in this. Everything else I've had that I threw on there. So, jump start a couple cars. I've already powered my camper with it. It's paid for itself, the $60. Eventually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get another alternator, maybe even two. And I'm going to get a bigger inverter, maybe two. So I'd like to have at least 1,000 or 2,000 watt off of this. That way, if I need to power more than my camper, I can. But I got another mower out here that I want to put all this stuff on. I took the deck off back in the summer. I'm going to put alternator. I'm going to do everything underneath it. Alternator, run the belt. I'm going to use the deck pulley. It's a pretty good sized pulley, so I know it'll work. And back here on the back, I'm going to build a rack for a battery. I'm going to use this for a more mobile. I think it'll be more useful. And it's 12.5 horse, so if I wanted to put a couple alternators on it, I know that it wouldn't have any problem powering them. This here is this little fun tractor, their lawnmower. Don't think nothing about the doll head. That's Sally. Say hi, Sally. This is Sally, my daughter Barbie. But you can see I got a couple lights on that, but it don't have any problem charging, keeping the battery charged while they're all running. These the LED strips, they come on when I turn the key on, and these outside lights, they're on the ignition switch for the lights. And these lights here, I got them on a toggle switch, rocker switch. And yeah, I play in the mud. I play at night. Another thing I've done to this was, I call it turbo. I just run a wire to the governor, and it gives you full potential out of the motor. Don't recommend running it for too long like that. You know, short bursts is fine. It's cool. It's fun playing in the mud. But yep, that's my generator project. Probably never be finished because it's a project. Oh, another thing I did was to help with the weight because there's quite a bit of weight up here. I welded these arms, but I left this one where if I need to, I can still fold the top down. But I welded that way. It'll help with the weight. It's an old mower. You can see the wheels ain't well. There ain't no telling how much longer that'll last. But I'll fire it up one more time. Started charging on its own. Okay, I found my little red button. So we got that put back in. One thing that I have not been able to determine, I know with a full tank of gas that it'll run, I think it's 45 minutes to an hour. When I'm mowing, it was a mulcher, so it would run 45 minutes to an hour under, I'll call it heavy load mowing, but I've yet to determine how long it'll run on a tank of gas like this. So one thing that I've considered is putting an external fuel tank, like up here on the cross member, building a little box or something up there and running a hose down because it's got a fuel line. So I can tie into that fuel line and put an on-off valve. Um, Something like that, because I'm going to come off of here anyway when I put my propane. When I get that done, went to the hardware store and got everything for that today, except for I couldn't find what I needed to come off the bottle for the gas delivery. I got the hose and everything. I don't want to cut this because this has been pretty handy, and I don't know. The hardware store I went to didn't have one like this. They had the trigger light, but I didn't want to spend the money for that. So that's that. We've already been over this. This is my mower. But yeah, there's my fuel line that I bought and fittings and stuff. And that's my generator project. Hope somebody finds this interesting and make your own. It's fairly simple to do. If you got a welder or know somebody that can weld for you pretty cheap, you're going to need a bracket for your adjuster. And I got lucky over here. There was already a hole, so I just run the bolt in. And it's bent a little bit, but I got a bigger bolt that I can put on there if that ever fails. Chevy alternator, like I said, $20, 63 amp, does the job. All right. Oh, let's see. Anything else? So I don't have to pause this and come back to it again. Oh, here's the lights. They're not surface mount lights. Said I got them at farm store, and I've had them for a while. 12-volt system, and when you hook these up, a lot of people red and black for hot and ground for 12 volt. But when you buy camping supply stuff, they do just like house wiring. House wiring, you got black is common, or black is hot and white's common. And that's what they do on for this. But bins are 12 volt lights. You can hook them up backwards and it ain't going to hurt nothing. But it tells you on the package that 12 volt is, or black is 12 volt positive and white is 12 volt negative. And like I said, it's a light. It don't matter which way you hook it up. All right. Thanks for watching.